Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. Well, it's Wednesday, it's my bad joke day. Frank was a man who believed in the deeper meaning of numbers. He was born on May 5th, 1905. He's 55 years old. He has 5 children. He lives at 55 East 55th Street. For the past 5 years, he's earned $55,000 as an executive at Saks Fifth Avenue. So on his 55th birthday, Frank went to the track, and much to his surprise, there was a horse running whose name was Cinco, numero cinco, running in the 5th race. So 5 minutes before the 5th race, he went to the 5th window and he put down his bet of $5,000 in $5 bills. And the horse came in 5th. So don't get too crazy about flipping out with numbers. Anyway, I'm always speaking about clutter because it's the first thing I'm dealing with as I try to clean out the house in preparation for whatever's to come next. It just represents areas that are stuck, where we need to improve our flow. It's interesting how we all look at things that we never use and then justify why do we keep them. There's some definite reason, like maybe 10 years from now something will be necessary. What's the reasoning behind that? Interesting to look at that part of how we defend our clutter. All right, for my writing friends out there, journal question for today is, what would your spiritual autobiography say? How would it read? What would it contain? Which practices and paths, ideas have you used for personal guidance in your own spiritual development? I'd like to hear about that. Be glad to share mine with you if you choose to. All right, BKS Iyengar. Every day I try to share something from the master to get people fired up about yoga. I always like to say that yoga teaches you transcendental common sense, right? It shows you and teaches you how to let go of the flaws that dissipate your energy. But knowledge of yoga is not substitute for the practice of yoga. We say this all the time: hit the mat, hit the mat. Reading is great, theory is great, but theory without practice is not what yoga is trying to teach you. But you'll be able to deal with the changing aspect of human behavior. You don't shy away from anything. And if you go up to chakras, as I always like to say, sexuality has to be included. It's a natural, sacred state as far as I'm concerned. By respecting the way that we use it, channel it, direct it, augment it, and probably most important, bring devotion to it. But please don't reduce the second chakra ever to lust or just what I call the sneeze in the loins. You have to validate it and divinize it. Bring it into something that makes it holy and not just something they say, oh, your mind is in the gutter. I hate when people say that. It shows you how low their level of understanding is about another aspect of the beauty, what makes us human beings when it's connected to love. All right, now, for my older friends out there, or what I call the juicy crones, as you get into that 1560 stage, you may think you're invisible, but one thing you've learned that other people don't know is that humiliating anybody is not a beautiful gift. And so long ago, you have probably left behind the remains, and you don't have to be a sin eater, take other people's stuff, cast off stuff. Don't carry that around. I'm always saying you have your own burdens to carry, not other people's. So be sure you draw clear boundaries about that. Now, there was an old word in Greek called the entelechy, which means like the deeper self, the higher self, the better self, the one that supposedly is the principle that guides your development and your functioning as an organism, as a system, right? Where many different things have to coordinate together for you to be healthy and sane. And the key is that entelechy is not just on the surface. It's the part of you that wants to communicate to the surface from the depth of you. We could call it your subconscious, or the part of the iceberg that's below the water, if you want to think of it that way. But there's something really deep in us. And to practice yoga, the whole idea is it's an art form. And if you don't connect to the spirit behind it, it's probably just going to be a whimsical expression for you and not a transformative experience that potentially could be. So, and as I believe, there's something in us that's programmed to experience, right, fully And that's what the purpose of the body is, to make that which is perceptible clear. And then, of course, we build prosthetic devices that have access to areas that we don't see, but they're there, and we can measure them. And so that's part of living life fully. And the body, the brain, it's what's making it more perceptible. So respect your body, love it. And just remember, yoga is not an armchair philosophy. You got to get out there. You got to do it. It's rigorous, but it teaches you how to go from the surface, the periphery, to the core, to your depth, your inner self. And respecting the body, you need the body for whatever pursuit, whether material or spiritual. Without the body, you're not incarnated, or you're disembodied. That's not it. So just remember, whatever you give your attention to, you're going to attract into your life. So give attention to what you want. Stay focused on it. That's the way to draw it to you. And once you remember that all is plastic to your thought, be careful what you think, or you'll meet your fears dramatized. So, as it says in the old biblical, whatsoever thy heart finds to do, do it with all thy might. All right? I forget to say this every now and then, but I got to, right? Subscribe to GabrielHalpern.com. Tell your friends about it. And I'd love to have dialogue with anybody. You beckon to me, I'll reach back out to you. Go to my website. Check out all the free content that's there. We're starting to push a couple of things that are in the future. My good friend Pat Sperry is coming in from California to teach a one-day happening out in Hinsdale called Flourish. You can find it on the website or go to flourish.com and see directly what he has to share, bringing some beautiful healers, both from the West Coast and here locally, to have a great day of fun, powering up, rekindling hope. And then if you go to my website, you'll see as of September 2nd, Memorial Day, okay, coming on next Monday, we're opening up the registrations for the Mexico vacation. We already have people chomping at the bit. So if you're interested in that, take a look at that. Love to have you join me. February 22nd to March 1st in Puerto Morelos, the place we've been going to for over 30 years. It's a great group. I'd love to see you there. Other than that, have a great day.